Turkish drones provide the edge in Syria attack. Turkey's recent air offensive over Syria has destroyed a number of armored personnel carriers, Syrian government tanks, and air defense systems. Turkey accomplished all of this with the use of unmanned aerial vehicles, also known as UAVs or drones. This is Turkey's way of retaliating for the deadly attack orchestrated by Syria that claimed the lives of 34 Turkish soldiers. Though drones have long been used in surveillance and assassination missions, this is the first time one military is using it in a major large-scale offensive against another. The Syrian government has been trying to retake the Syrian province of Idlib, where Syrian rebel groups still rule. Syrian civilians who have been displaced by their government have fled to the Turkish border. Turkish-backed rebels retook the Syrian town of Sarakeb, resulting in Syria's recent attack that killed Turkish troops. Russia has been backing the Syrian government in their fight against terrorists, so Turkey and Russia are on opposite sides of the war. Turkey is opposed to Syria's Assad government and is now allowing Syrian migrants to travel to the EU. As of March 2, 19 Syrian soldiers had been killed by Turkish drones, with Turkey also shooting down 2 Syrian fighter jets. Syria said it has shot down 3 Turkish drones. Drones have technically existed since the 19th century, when Austria used hot air balloons without pilots to bomb Venice. Then remote control planes were developed for World War I. The word drone began to be used when the UK created a biplane called Quinby, controlled by radio. In the 1950s, the US used remotely piloted spy planes, but it stayed a niche market until an Israeli aviation genius developed an aircraft with glider-like properties. The US put missiles on their drones in 2000, effectively becoming assassination weapons. UAVs act like CCTV cameras at a high altitude, but fly slowly, not making much noise. Selçuk Bayraktar, a graduate of University of Pennsylvania, created Baykar Technologies to manufacture drones for the Turkish military. The Turkish military set their sights on the Bayraktar TB2 UAV, equipped with a range of around 150 kilometers. In Turkey's recent attack on Syria, the country used the Bayraktar TB2 UAV and the Anka-S, a heavier armed satellite-linked unmanned combat aerial vehicle or UCAV. With the drones, Turkey overwhelmed the Syrian government, destroying their own equipment before they could take shelter. Lightly armed Turkish-backed rebels took advantage of all this commotion while on the ground. Turkey's drones have surely benefited their military, but they could also be shut down considering they are quite slow-moving. They also have much competition in worldwide military, with China producing its own armed UCAV called the Wing Long 2. The Wing Long 2 is relatively inexpensive at just $1 million, already being used by allies of the Libyan National Army led by renegade General Khalifa Haftar. The Wing Long 2 reportedly performs much better than Turkey's TB2. Turkey has gone ahead and begun preparing more units of their Anka-S to replace the ones shot down by Syria.